Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. This is very powerful because it means that now any website can do that. You don't really need to add a new wallet for each experience or send them to a different homepage to complete a task. You can do it on a third-party website or right on social media. That means you're giving people more ways to use this environment. I believe it is very strong. Anyhow, in a recent video on his Plan B YouTube channel, the former institutional investor talks about how crypto investors are becoming more pessimistic and having bad feelings about the market. He says that this is exactly when the negativity hits its peak. It has been a long time since Plan B talked about how regular events affect the price of Bitcoin. He thinks that the current slump is caused by some investors giving up. Investors who thought the bull market was over will be let down when prices go through the roof quickly. Plan B says that Bitcoin's price will double from its low point in the previous cycle 6 months before the herring and 2 times 6 months after the herring, as small amounts of money are used to make up for lower block awards. Between October 2024 and November 2025, this would mean that Bitcoin would cost between $80,000 and $120,000 per coin. Plan B's video gives a full analysis to back up his claim that the market is still going up. Watch until the end to hear from our friend, who used to work as a major investor and is now the founder and CEO of Real Vision. Please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you want to see more movies like this. I also know that a lot of you are interested in the crypto markets, and the last time I sent a flash report, that nuke was down to about 120 in Solana, and I told them, listen, I think the low is in. After that, it went up, dropped all the way back down, and tried to hit that low again, and failed, but then it began to bounce again. Also, this movie is meant to ask when everyone says banana, when is the banana zone? There it is. I believe it will happen, and I believe Solana will lead it. And as I've told you, you need to be patient. Things like this don't happen all at once, but when they do, they can change your whole life. We're now at that point in the 4-year cycle. Things get very exciting right before the US election. And there is often a break around the time of halving. A lot of the time, global liquidity has stopped, which is what happened lately. In other videos, I'll show you how to look ahead and see that liquidity is about to surge. There are a lot of interesting things going on at the same time that liquidity is about to rise. Solana had some very important news to share. Remember that I told you 2 things about Solana that stood out to me, that I liked, besides the fact that a lot of companies are building on it. This is a great network. They're telling the right story. They're trying to get a lot of people to use it in stores. There were 2 big things that really caught my attention. Of course, we've seen meme coins before. One of them was NFT compression, which means that NFTs can be used for different things, like tickets or even derivative contracts. Large-scale NFTs were made possible by impressed NFTs at a low cost. It was FireDancer that really pushed me over the edge and got me all in on Solana. Now 90% of my crypto holdings, or all of my liquid net worth, are in Solana. Some of you may think this is silly, but I believe market concentration is the best way to handle things when everything is linked by the Everything Code. If you haven't already, I really think you should watch the Everything Code movie because it goes over all of this in great detail. Actually, I've decided to bet on Solana because it started to break out against Bitcoin and Ethereum around October of last year. That's what made me decide that this was going to be the best token for this cycle. Then there was more news this week. 1. Compression with ZK. The Solana chain can grow very quickly thanks to ZK compression, which stands for Zero Knowledge Compression. That's really important then. And when that is used with FireDancer, the other big one, FireDancer gives you up to 1 million TPS, which is unmatched. With 1 million TPS compressed NFTs, and then a whole compressed chain, you have the world's fastest and most flexible blockchain. It's important to me that a lot of people adopt. Blink was the next part of that. Blink was a step towards wide use. With it, you can embed code that can show up on any Web 2 site and let people make purchases in Solana. It gives people a huge amount of power because now any website can do that. You don't really need to add a new wallet for each experience or send them to a different homepage to complete a task. You can do it on a third-party website or right on social media. That means you're giving people more ways to use this environment. In June, the expert with a fake name said on Twitter that Bitcoin prices will go up a lot in the next few weeks and months. The message says, my best guess is that Bitcoin will be worth between $20,128 in 2024. Bitcoin scenario for 2024 to 2028, 28-24, the end of the year 202. $1,000.00 and $400,000.00 in 2026 and 2027, as we move from crypto winter to spring, summer in 2028, which will be another hang year. In a follow-up post, Plan B says that this price prediction sounds crazy when someone on Twitter asks how likely it is that Bitcoin will reach $800,000 next year, over 10 times the current. He says that $800,000 is in line with the highest R2 historical data model that fits the data the best. But it sounds too good to be true. Someone else says that 800,000 Bitcoin will put the market value of the most popular cryptocurrency in the same range as gold. Bitcoin is twice as rare as gold. The stock-to-flow ratio for Bitcoin is 120, while the ratio for gold is 60. Some factors point to Bitcoin prices going through the roof next year, but a lot of people think that the 2021 cycle shows that the asset class is maturing and that the big moves seen in previous cycles might not happen again in this or future cycles. A lot of well-known investors and experts think the bull market is just getting started. In one of the most recent videos on his Journeyman YouTube account, Raoul Pal talks about what people should expect from the banana zone and how important it is to wait patiently for everything that is going to happen. It's also interesting that at Global Mac Investor, we look at how volatile assets are and see that when they reach very low volatility, they often turn around and go back up to high volatility. In crypto, markets with low volatility tend to be going down, and markets with high volatility tend to be going up. So every time Solana falls below this 50 line in 30-day historic volatility, it tends to go back up. Yesterday, the same thing happened. It has done this 5 times in a row from this level, and it went from 99% in December to 32% in 2 months to 57% in August to March to 78% in February. In December, it went from 99% to 527% in 3 months to 57% in August to September. I really like this strong signal. Now, on Bitcoin, the same signal can be seen. Bitcoin's price history is longer, which is a good thing. So every time the volatility got close to 20%, Bitcoin, which is more stable and less unpredictable, bounced a lot. Once more, these bounces have led to 83%, 85%, 200%, 100%, 85%, 85%, and 71% of sales. These are really good signs. There is no such thing as perfect or flawed, but this puts the odds in your favor. And another thing I look for is a boss who stays strong against others. This is Solana vs. Bitcoin, and it's very important that you understand this. It goes up and up and up and up like stairs. I'll show you when I bought Solana when it broke out against Bitcoin and Ethereum in September or October of last year. Since then, it's gone up a few steps. We are about to blast through the next level. That means that owning Solana should be better than owning Bitcoin. The pattern on this chart is very close to the pattern on this chart for ETH. No matter what, we think Solana will do better once it hits a level of 0.0555 ETH, even with the ETF. Today we also learned that Van Eck has put in for a Solana ETF. It doesn't mean it will be accepted. A few of these people have filed for years ahead of time. They only want to get in and hear what the SEC thinks.